Chapter 1. Sin and the 7 Dangerous Virtues. In 1987, Harper's Magazine invited 7 ad agencies to create a humorous campaign designed to rehabilitate the reputation of the 7 deadly sins. The ad for lust pictured 2 silent film stars in a passionate embrace, along with a headline that read, "Any sin that's enabled us to survive war, death, pestilence, and famine can't be called deadly." The ad's tagline read, "Lust. Where would we be without it?" Another, for the Gluttony Society, showed a grossly obese man running in a race, or perhaps competing in the long jump, with the slogan, "Be all you can be." The ad for Pride declared, "It's time to start feeling good about yourself. Really good." Although tongue-in-cheek, these ads accurately reflect the modern consensus when it comes to sin. We are sinners. We don't deny it. But most of the time, we don't think much about it. We don't seem to obsess about sin the way the ancients used to, at least not about our own sins. We don't punish ourselves or go to extreme measures to fight sin off. Most of the time, our sin feels more like a low-grade fever than it does a raging fire. Its presence is an ongoing irritation that may hinder us from being our best, but it doesn't keep us from functioning. Sin doesn't bother us that much either. If anything, the fact that we are sinners serves as an escape clause when things go badly. What did you think would happen, we want to say? We are imperfect people living in an imperfect world. Of course we went off the rails. The fact that we are sinners is one of the few religious concepts upon which a majority of people agree. Most people identify with the label sinner. The ancients weren't as sanguine about the subject. The early Christian monastics went into the wilderness not only to pursue holiness, but also to study their sinfulness. One monk, who probably lived in the 4th or 5th century, described the benefit of a life of solitude by pouring water into a cup and pointing out that its cloudy nature became clear after allowing it to stand for a time. So it is with the man who lives among men. He does not see his own sins because of the turmoil, he said, but when he is at rest, especially in the desert, then he sees his sins. Those early Christians analyzed sin and categorized the many ways it manifests itself. They were interested not only in identifying the specific acts that should be regarded as sinful, but wanted to understand the internal dynamics that generated sinful behavior. The Church's analysis and categorization of sin became so complex that the ordinary person who stumbles on its reflections may feel that such formulations read like tax documents produced by the IRS. But the fundamental questions that prompted theologians and philosophers to such deep and complicated reflection were often quite basic. They are the kinds of questions we all ask. What kind of behavior constitutes sin? How does sin arise within those who would rather not sin? Are some sins worse than others? And, of course, the most important question of all, what alternative is there to sin? At times, we all find ourselves, like the Apostle Paul, puzzled by our behavior where sin is concerned. In the latter part of the 4th century, a monk named Evagrius of Pontus compiled a list of sins that people commonly commit. He didn't consider his list to be an exhaustive catalog of sinful behavior. The 8 actions Evagrius singled out represented the main categories